Old Testament is a book of letters.
Right.
And I would argue that the overwhelming majority of the letters are dealing with church folk and their issues.
Right.
Even when church folk are gifted, even when church folk are anointed, y'all not going to say, man, you can do all of that, and yet you still, when Paul talks about it in the New Testament, you are still lacking.
Right.
The Corinthian church was a gifted church.
Right.
Spoken tongues, miracles, they did it all. They cold-blooded, amen. You would think a church like that would have no issues. Paul said, y'all got a bunch of issues.
Amen.
So here's what I'm saying. That's way back, right after Jesus went to be with the Father.
Right.
What am I saying? Church and church folk have always had issues. And the only way you deal with an issue, you got to face it. Now let me say this before I get to my next point, because I want to deal with what happened to love. Say what happened to love. I want to express to you that you do have the capacity to love like God.
Amen.
How do I know it? Because one of the ways you see a love like God is how we love, especially our underage children.
Right.
What do I mean by underage? I'm talking about our babies, our toddlers, probably right up to 13 or so. It's just unconditional.
Right.
And then, you know, some of it kind of goes down because you think they need to be responsible. But some folks, some parents love their children with God kind of love no matter what. Literally until they gone. So here's what I'm saying. I want you to understand what I'm saying. You got to begin to ask yourself then. Pastor's saying what happened to love, but yet we do have the capacity to love. Why is it that we can love our children unconditionally? Here's what I believe it is. It is normally, say normally. Normally, especially as they are young, it is a non-transactional relationship. Okay, you didn't hear what I just said. Well, I'm teaching good and ain't nobody saying amen and nothing. I said loving your child is a non-transactional relationship. In other words, when they are children, you really don't expect anything as a reciprocator of your love. You just issuing it out. Yeah, you want them to do well in school and behave themselves and all that kind of stuff, but all things being equal, I don't care how your child is, you love them. Watch this, not just for school, you love them regardless of their body image. You ain't hear nothing. No. Listen, you're a horrible parent if you're the type of parent that has an issue with your children because your children or your child is considered by the world overweight. You just love. Some parents can be rude and crude and they can say ugly things to their children, but for the most part, parents gonna love their kids regardless. Oh boy, it's pretty good. And I'm going to say something, and this is kind of controversial, especially for us culturally, but I saw it. It's a universal principle. Maybe it doesn't apply to us as much, but it is out there. Here's another way you know you can love unconditionally. How we love our pets. Y'all not going to say nothing up here. I'm talking about no. And see, it's hard to say that because culturally, everybody ain't with the pet. But there are some black folk who is serious about their dog, their cat. Y'all not going to say amen? And you know what? Here again, non-transactional. All Fido have to do is just be there. Yeah, that's all he got to do, just be there.
Right.
Okay, what am I trying to say? Love God's way certainly is possible. But something begins to happen when you start having relationships, be it intimate relationship with a significant other, a friendship, a family, whatever it is. Something starts happening when we get grown and the relationships become transactional. I'll do this if you do. And love begins to falter. Let's see what happened to love. I love it now. Pastor, Pastor Kevin, I don't know where he went. I ain't got no problem with this one now. I had an issue with it, amen? But I'm cool. What happened? Oh my God, I just love my graphics people so much. Y'all is just, so that is just so wonderful. Look at that. It's a heart that begins to kind of separate. What happened? Let somebody say, what happened to love? Okay, let's teach it. Let's show it right here. Matthew 24, verses 9 through 12 out of the Message Bible. Watch this. They're going to throw you to the wolves and kill you. Everyone hating you because you carry my name. I'm trying to tell you what started happening in love. You're supposed to see it. And then going from bad to worse. It will be dog eat dog. Watch this. Here's where we are. Everyone at each other's throat. Everyone hating each other. Red states hating blue states. Y'all know what I'm saying? Democrats hating Republicans. Republicans hating Democrats. Black folk hating certain cultures. White folk hating certain cultures. It's just, we just hate all out there for no reason. Because watch this. Depending on what happens in life, watch this, it just depends. Our reaction depends on if it's somebody that's connected to us. Because when somebody else's child does something irresponsible, you're trying to throw them in jail and throw away the key. But if it was your child, I'm trying to tell you how love works, and things start messing up, you're going to make certain you do everything you can. Some of us have put up our house as collateral for the bond. Y'all not going to say amen? Yeah, because of that love. But it's amazing to me, let me tell you where love should really be displayed and demonstrated the most. Watch this. It's not you and your child. It's not you and your pet. It's supposed to be a man and a woman who have a covenant. That is the greatest, supposed to be the greatest demonstration of love. You're right. And yet when I begin to think about people in the class that I graduated from in 1985, it is rare to have people that I graduated still connected and in love with a single one person.
That's right.
Well, they got quiet. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. I knew it was going to be hard. Give me the next verse, Jesus. In the confusion, lying preachers will come forward and deceive. In the confusion, there's all kind of craziness going on. We at each other's throat. This is the time where preachers ought to be really standing for righteousness. And watch this. They will come forward and deceive a lot of people. Okay, I'm not, I don't care versus Obama versus Trump. It don't matter to me. It's all good in the neighborhood. But I have to tell you things that I've observed. And one of the things that I've observed, watch this, is our president is supported by preachers who now overlook the foolishness and immorality that he walks in and has walked in all of his life, and yet had it been a Democrat, all I'm saying is stop hypocrite. Why would a preacher get up and make excuses for y'all not going to say amen. You got to call an ace and a spade a spade. Now I'm going to get up and tell you, listen, he's immoral, watch this, but it don't matter when it comes to president. I'll be straight with you. I'm not going to lie to you. Listen, he won the election fair and square. And we should not be trying to get people out of office based on immorality. I said for him, I said it for Clinton. Clinton was not the pastor. Trump is not the pastor. Y'all not saying amen. But at least be honest about the behavior. Clinton was wrong and Trump is wrong. For grabbing people, women, y'all not going to say amen, and talking about they like it. Okay, they got quiet. But lying, mostly white preachers have got up in churches and defended foolishness. Literally saying it's almost like he's the second coming of Christ. I dare y'all look at some of that stuff on television. Is it Pat Robertson foolishness? There's another boy, Jim Baker. He done bought up all kind of airtime on a Christian television station. Y'all not gonna say. And preachers come on this panel and just be talking about how anointed and how on time Trump is to be our president. Now please hear what your pastor said. I don't care if it's Trump, Obama, Biden. I care less. You didn't hear what I said. I serve one greater than all of that. Okay, y'all not gonna say amen. But so I'm not gonna be tripping. It is what it is, but I'm not gonna lie either. Because if Obama was a hoe, I tell y'all, morally, he was wrong.
Right.
And trust me, if it was out there, we'd know about it by now. Okay, let me go ahead. Watch this. In the confusion, I got to hurry up and go. Lying preachers will come forward and deceive a lot of people. For many others, the overwhelming spread of evil will do them in. Nothing left. Watch this. What happened to love? Nothing left of their love but a mound. No love. No. Look at somebody say no love. Yeah, boy, I tell you, it's kind of got that way, man. That we are so bombarded with technology and instant news and news cycles that seemingly last seconds. We have gotten desensitized when we see horrible things happening to people. And we just go to the next station. I don't want to hear all that, but it's going on. Where's the love? Y'all not gonna say amen. Oh, can you give me my last verse, please? I gotta go. I thought I went through verse number 12. Was that verse number 12? Is it 9 through 12? There it is. I got all of it. Okay, thank you so much. Let's go. Here we go. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5, the Amplified Bible. Look at somebody and say, what happened to love? What happened to love? What happened to love? But understand this, that in the last days, dangerous times of great stress and trouble will come. Difficult days that will be hard to bear. How do you know the days are like this? For people will be lovers of self, narcissistic, and self-focused. That's when love begins to wane, when you are so stuck up on you don't have no love to give to anybody else, but you just want to receive. Watch this. What's the way it says? It says, lovers of money. See, you thought rich people love money. Poor folk love money too. They love money. That's why they so stingy. And they say in their mind, if I had more money than I do, they lying. Because if you are a giver, you give from wherever you are, wherever your level. Y'all not saying amen. I'm not just talking about giving your tithe and offering. I'm talking about giving all time. Impelled by greed, boastful. I'm telling you what happened to love. Arrogant. Relationships with a man and woman. I pray for millennials. Because I don't know, I think y'all know how rough it is. It's rough out there for millennials to have a meaningful relationship with the opposite sex. And so that's why you find them experimenting. Y'all not saying amen? Y'all act like it ain't out there. I'm telling you, I see it out there. It's heavy. And sometimes you can't even recognize that what it is what it is. You used to get recognized because you kind of identify, especially if it's women, you kind of identify the more, male-looking person. But now it's females that you just wouldn't know. And brothers too. You used to get kind of, you know what I'm saying, I'm not knocking, I'm just telling you, if you are experimenting with that, that's not God. If something went down at birth where you really were confused about your identity, I certainly understand. I'm not knocking that. It kind of is what it is. But if you are experimenting, that means you're making a choice. This has nothing to do with your sexuality. This has something to do, watch this, with your curiosity. Oh my God, I'm appreciating. Good. Boy, that was good. I'm praying for the church. Because young folk, I'm telling you, I thank God for all my young folk. I love them. I want more families, and I check them out. And I'm looking at beautiful women in our church, millennials, and they don't necessarily have, I know it's significant if they bring them to church. And they don't be bringing a lot of brothers up in here. Y'all not saying that. Boy, it's I can say this after 23 years almost of pastoring. This is the challenge of the ministry God has gave me. It's difficult to be in the ministry God gave me and you not do some self-reflection. If you notice, most ministries still are talking about folk out there. My ministry deal with the folk in here. In fact, I don't really say nothing about the folk out there.
Yeah.
I was then got quiet. Okay, let's go. They watch this. It says boastful, arrogant, revilers, disobedient to parents. It goes on now. But children just talk crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, just crazy. Shut up. Oh, whoa. And they'll add some cuss words in there. That's how, listen. I'm just trying to tell you how things grow. That spirit has always been there. But the fear of getting your head knocked off. So it was there. So I want you to be thinking, God doesn't just deal with the act, He deals with the mindset. That mindset has always been there. I used to think some stuff, especially about my dad, in my head.
It's in the head.
I'm in my head. I know what I'm talking about. Ain't nothing ever came out my, not even close. You know how you slip up? It ain't never like almost. There was never an almost. But I had some stuff in my head. Ungrateful. Oh my God. And they just children that are ungrateful in relationships. That's what happened. We start comparing what each other have. And then now you ungrateful for what you got. I remember when First Lady and I, we first got together, we had an apartment. We had friends that had nice houses. We both went right over there and ate. We was really happy that they had some food. Because that was a blessing. Y'all laughing. No, I'm serious. It wasn't just a little casual thing. That could have been a day where we really didn't have much. So you get a real meal and that kind of thing. And they have nice homes. And we was not ungrateful for what God did for us. Why they got it? We ain't got it. We love the Lord. We go there. They don't even have to go to church. Okay. Unholy and profane. Let me say this because some of y'all try to accuse y'all pastor of being profane, and it's a lack of understanding. Most of the times when I say anything that's cutting edge, I am quoting what others say. I'm not saying it.
You're right.
It's as if you were a witness to something and they ask you, well, what did they say? When you say what they said, you're not saying it. But people's lies get out on me. Your pastor be cussing and just that. Man, shut up.
Amen.
Bunch of lies. Let me go to my next thing. Come on, y'all. And they will be unloving. There it is. In these days, devoid, watch this, of natural human affection. God has put human affection inside of everybody. They have did tests on babies who have not been able to talk, how to be sharing, how to be not so self-focused, and babies they put together, watch this, work with each other. I'm talking about as babies. I ain't talking about when they can say mine and all that stuff. I'm talking about like 5, 6 months. Check it out. Research is out there.
All right.
Boy, it's quiet up in here. And it shows that it's something in us that's we just have an affection for people. It's something that's in us. We see people that's strung out or that's on the street or that's struggling in something or struggling with something. That just naturally there's an affection. You just feel bad. There's an empathy. There's not sympathy. There's an empathy. You put yourself in their shoes. Y'all not seeing this. And we've lost that. Lost it, man. It says callous and inhumane. Callous, just hard. That's what it just hard. Heart just hard. Don't nothing move you. You try to make folk move you. He ain't gonna get me to say amen. He ain't gonna get me to cry. Don't nothing move you. I ain't just to praise. I ain't just to lift up my hand. Let me tell you how cold it is when you begin to think about how God has. I was thinking this morning, I went to a homegoing service yesterday. It's been a homegoing thing happening. First Lady's, listen to what I'm saying, the mother of First Lady's former co-worker. The mother. Because people always say, what did he say? The mother. He said that First Lady friend died. I know. The mother of her former co-worker. And we were there at the homegoing. It was a Catholic setting. And man, just powerful service.
Yes.
Powerful. It blew me away. I mean, other than having to stand up and sit down and say different stuff that I didn't know exactly what they were saying, other than that type of stuff. No, Catholics are coming in, they'll be confused. But when it got to the meat of the matter, what the man of God was saying, that thing was powerful. And then they closed. Okay, let me get it together. They closed, watch this. it was a young man, a great gifted young man. He sung this song, the last song, about the power of a loving mother. You talking about sing a song? I was, no, at the Catholic, I had to get, just like I am now, I had to get myself together. And then this morning I was thinking about, I went to this funeral, homegoing a couple of weeks ago. It was my almost diagonal across the street neighbor, Miss Jenkins. She passed, she was over 90, and then Mr. Jenkins, that's who I thought about this morning. Mr. Jenkins, he's still living. And I thought about, watch this, how God surrounded me with men who were like surrogate fathers. See, I told y'all how blessed I was because my sisters were like mothers, but I began to think this morning how blessed I have been because other men, no, they wasn't nasty, they wasn't trying to do nothing to me, they brought me around as a surrogate son. I began to shed tears because that's love demonstrated. They say I ain't got no time. Hey, come on, Junior, you come over here. I was sometimes over Mr. and Mrs. Jenkins' house more than I was at my own house. Because they take that good people. Listen what happens, man. I'm trying to get myself together. Okay, irreconcilable. Irreconcilable. Y'all know what that is? Irreconcilable. That's what they say in the book. Irreconcilable differences. We just can't do it. It's got quiet in here. Because the love has gone. You had some false narrative of what marriage was going to be. And you didn't understand. If you're going to have half of the stuff in your head, it's going to take some moves. It's going to take some disciplines. It's going to take some stuff you got to do. Stuff that things just happen. No, they don't. Not in a marriage. Irreconcilable. Malicious gossips. Not just gossiping, but you gossiping to bring somebody else down. Devoid of self-control, intemperate, immoral, brutal. I'm telling you, love, haters of good, traitors, reckless, conceited, lovers of sensual pleasure rather than lovers of God. Look at somebody say, what happened to the love? Okay, my last thing, I'm done. This is a who situation. Who can, watch this, who can restore love? Say, who can restore? Okay, it's over for me. I'm about to file out you. It's over. Graphics didn't mess me up again. Because, see, when you, listen, no, I pay attention to this kind of stuff. When you put something on the screen, see, that preach itself. It say love is broken, and it's saying, who gonna start bringing that thing back together? Who gonna help heal that thing? Who gonna cover that thing? And not expose everything? Say who? And so I'm going to say this. One of our problems is we focus too much on what, why, when, and how. And not enough on who. You're not saying what I'm saying. No, some of your issues that you have is a what issue, it's a when it happened, it's a why it happened, it's a how. I understand all of that, but the question is, who can help you? And let me go ahead and say this because I was thinking this all. When I say God is the one that restores, I'm saying God uses people. That's why I don't understand why we have problems with doctors and therapists. It's just a lack of understanding. No, God don't supernatural. That is supernatural. That's God putting his super on that natural gift that person has, and they can help you through therapy, through, y'all not saying amen. But in our culture, I don't need that, I don't need to talk to nobody. You're nervous, you're twitchy, you're irritable, you talk crazy to people, you fly off the handle, you have anxiety attacks. They talk, I got it. I take a couple of aspirin. Say, no, that's our culture. Some of us, I see it on your face, that stuff costs. That's why you have insurance. The other culture use the benefits. No, if I'm going to have some insurance that can provide some help to me, some counseling, some therapy, I need to take advantage because that's a part of the who. I want God to do it. That is God. He said he made us a little lower than himself. Anything good that's happening in the world that people do, you can stamp God's name on. Now, I'm not talking about what their motivation may be. I'm talking about if it's good, put the Lord's name on. That's God.
That's good.
Let somebody say, who can restore love? I want to preach this a little bit. Let's go to who can restore love. Romans chapter 5, verses 6 through 8, out of the Amplified Bible. It says this. It says, while we were still helpless, powerless to provide for our salvation, for our deliverance. We was in something that we couldn't get out of. At the right time. This is what I love about God. He's moving all the time, but he know how to move at the right time. And some of us don't understand it because we ignore it the right time. Because we thought that ain't what I want to do, and I'm too young. I am so glad that God got a hold of me at the right time. Now I could have ignored it, but his timing is impeccable. I'd have never thought he could grab me where I was and help me get to where I need to be. From that point, I never saw it coming. But the Bible says at the right time. At the right time. Listen, I say at the right time. At the right time, Christ died. Watch this, as a substitute. Who did he die for? The ungodly. So anybody that is acting not like God, guess who he died for? I thought he died for folk in the church. No. He died for everybody. Everybody is in the ungodly. Let me go to my next thing, please. Verse number 7. Now, it is an extraordinary thing. I'm talking about who can restore this love for one to willingly give his life even for an upright man. Though perhaps for a good man, one who is noble and selfless and worthy, someone might even dare to die for them. But God clearly shows, watch this, and proves his own love for us by the fact that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Was quiet in here. Well, I said something, it's just a shift. And that, if you grab a hold of this, your relationships are going to go to the next level. If you grab a hold of this, our ministry is going to go to the next level. Because now you are not just interested in your needs, you are sensitive enough to be interested in the needs of others. And not just in our church, but we want to be strong enough where we can help meet the needs of others that ain't even connected to our church. That's my dream. To have a ministry, watch this, where we so cold with our finances, the tithe and the offering, we use it to do ministry. We don't have to use it to pay staff. We so cold, we got the money. We got staff, we got all of that covered, the rent, all of that. The mortgage, whatever that, we got that. But the tithe and the offering we use to bless people with no expectation. Well, I'm telling you, that's when the Lord bless you. I'm trying to tell you, when you love on somebody and you ain't even expecting nothing. Wow. I told y'all, listen, I am literally in a dream situation in my life that was started by an act of love that I had no idea would have that impact. $100 that was given to somebody by me that I did not know was noticed by somebody that had the power and the influence to help me. In spite of my credit score. Now, did I do it for that? Absolutely not. But I'm telling you, there's a connection when you have the right kind of love operating in your life. Do I have one more? Is it something else? Thank you. Say who. Yeah, who can do this, man? It's not a what situation. Let's stop nursing and caring for your issues and your offenses. I mean, you still living in stuff that happened 3 years and 5 years and 10 years and 12 years ago. Stop nursing that mess. And get to the point where you say, man, I'm ready to love like God. Beloved, let us unselfishly love and seek the best for one another. Amen. Let us, listen, unselfishly love and seek the... I want to say this right here because people confuse forgiveness with the restoration of a relationship. This is so crazy to me that you think God is trying to say through love that a snake bites you and then you go back and deal with the same snake. I'm trying to be like God. No. That is not like God. God identifies the snake. Okay, next week I'm going to show y'all some scriptures in the Bible where God anoints men and women to say something in this Bible to literally say, you got to, and they call them out by name sometimes. But that don't mean they ain't forget. Forgiveness is much simpler when you understand it. You're telling the person who hurt you, you don't owe me anything. But the restoration of that relationship is going to be based on that person's ability to love. Y'all not going to say amen. Yeah, I'm not just to stick. See, I did that for that person because I had no connection with that person. I wasn't expecting nothing. But watch this. We're not going to say we friends. And I do and you don't do. Now let's redefine the relationship. We're not friends. You a user. You a leech. You just suck it. Y'all not saying this. Okay, let me go ahead because what? Listen, thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much. You have been so good to me over 23 years. He says, let us unselfishly love and seek the best for one another. For love, give me 5 minutes, y'all. For love is from God. And everyone who loves others is born of God and knows God, watch this, through personal experience. The scriptures say you got to reach a point in your walk with God where you know Him for yourself. No. You don't know about Him, you know Him. This ain't what somebody else told me, but I've been rolling with you, God, long enough. I have a personal experience of how you love me in spite of me. And so it's easy to love. Listen what he says. He says, the one who does not love has not become acquainted with God. 1 John chapter 4, 7 through 10, Amplified Bible, verse number 8. The one who does not love has not become acquainted. You don't know God. Because why? He does not and never did know Him. I'm going to say it one more time. The one who don't know love has not become acquainted with God. He don't know and never did know Him. He literally says, if you ever got a taste of knowing Him. I wish I had some people that would understand the power of addiction, because what has happened to some people with their addiction, they got a taste of a high. And they keep going back to that thing that gave them the high. But if they can stop worrying about the thing and begin to focus on God, you can get a high, you can get a y'all not going to say, man, Dimes, why do you keep going back to God? Because I get thirsty sometimes. And I know God is a thirst quench. Y'all not seeing it. He says the one who doesn't know God. Come on, verse number 9. Oh, back it up, back that thing, back the train up. I'm so sorry. For God, watch this, is love. Okay, you missed your shot. See, we so focused, watch this, on acts of love. But God is love. See, acts of love is the love that's the verb. But is love is the love that's the noun. You missed your shot again. When you got verb love, sometimes it depends on how y'all not going to say, it depends on the situation if you're going to love like God. But if you are a noun love, you just love and you can't help but. I want the best for everybody. I want to see everybody. If they in bondage, I want to see everybody delivered. And they got quiet. Because sometimes America act like we just have our little act together and we so righteous and we ain't never did no wrong and it's us against them. That devil is a lie. We got some stains on our account.
It's all right.
Go to my thing. Verse number 9. I'm almost there. God is the originator of love. God started love. In fact, the Bible said, for God so loved. Again, you don't see what I just said. It did not say for God loved. It said for God so loved the world. Watch this. He says it's an enduring attribute of His nature. That's just who He is. It's an enduring, it don't never run out. I messed up last week. He got some love for you. I lied last week. He got some love for you. I've been through something. He got some love for you. I had a divorce. He got some love for you. I had an abortion. He got some love for you. I was hoeing. He got some love. That's just His name. That's just who He is. I said it's just, and he not a Gemini. Oh, God, I wish you could see. I say God is not a Gemini. Now, y'all know I'm playing because I ain't tripping with zodiac sign, but they do so that say that the Gemini has two faces. And people who have taught about God try to act like God love and God can. That devil is a lie. Ain't nothing but love in God. See, you don't want to get on God's angry side. He ain't got no angry side. See, that's people who wrote the Bible. When crazy stuff happened, they thought that was God's anger. And they didn't realize crazy stuff happening was a result of the choices that they made. And there go God still wanting to love them. But see, we taught people that bad stuff happened is because God trying to put us on our back so we can look up. God ain't put no cancer on you. I say he didn't put no cancer on you. I hear just horrible theology. God knew I was going to go to jail. He did know. He knew that if you made that choice, you were going there. But he also knew that if you made another choice, you were going. Y'all not seeing it. Yeah, he know the outcome of both choices. I'm teaching this good. By this, the love of God was displayed in us, in that God, watch this, sent his one and only begotten unique Son, the one who is there, it is truly unique, the only one. Hallelujah. He did it. He brought him into the world so that we might live through him. I asked myself, man, how do you close out a message about love? And I thought about my first point, what is or isn't love. He said, no, that ain't a good close. Then I thought about, maybe I close on what happened to love. You say, that's not a good love. That's not a good close. Then I say, well, maybe it's who can restore. And he say, that's it right there. Okay, y'all not seeing it in your Bible. Because it's really in the Bible. If you study the who's of the Bible, you're going to see how awesome God is. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord mighty. This is the who's of the Bible. I wrote it. Let me go. I put it on my doggone phone. Let me see if I can still find it in. Oh, look at me. How do you expand that thing? You better expand that thing in the name of Jesus. I want you to see this, man, because it's a powerful situation. Come on, help me out. I'm just again. There it is, Romans 7. I didn't give it to my team, but there it is. Listen to Paul. Look at this at Paul. This is like some of us right here. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me. But now how to perform that which is good, I find not. For the good that I would do, this is some of us, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that's the thing. Now if I do that I would not, it is no more that do it, that sin that, watch it, it ain't that, it's but the sin that dwelleth in me. He says, I find in the law. Then when I would do good, evil is present. For I delight in the law of God after the inward man. But I see another law in my members. In my spirit I love him, but my members keep doing wrong. My members keep getting me drunk. My members keep putting me in situations I shouldn't be in. My members do it. Warning against the law of my mind and bringing me into captivity. That's what it does to the law of sin, which is in my members. Get to your point, Pastor. Oh, wretched man that I am. Not what can deliver me, but who? Ain't nobody shouting up in here. I ain't got no shouts because you don't understand the power of love. Look at somebody, say, love is in need. Have I got a witness there? I heard something right there. I say, have I got a witness right there? The songwriter put it like this. I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply stained within, never to rise no more. But the master of the sea Hallelujah. I start thinking about some things. I start thinking about some things. The songwriter say, from the waters. What waters? The water of life. The waters of hoeing. The waters of alcoholism. The waters of low self-esteem. From the waters, he lifted me. And now say, I ain't got nobody that'll preach with me. I ain't got nobody that'll help me. You think I'm playing because I got a little sound in my voice. But when I think about, I said when I think about the goodness of Jesus and all he's done for me, my soul cries out, hallelujah. Hallelujah! 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 It's the highest praise.